welcome to this tutorial in which we are going to look at a super simple way to create animated characters in Unity, and for that we are going to use MIxamo. So if you found this video, or you're going to find this video or any of my other videos useful, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a positive comment below, and of course leave a suggestion for any future content. Okay, so the first thing to do is jump over into MIxamo. So MIxamo used to be a separate company, used to be, well, I'll not go into the details of the background of it, but either way, Adobe now own it, so you can just create an account or just log in if you've already got an Adobe account, and it should bring you up something like this, where we can choose a range of different characters, or we can choose a bunch of animations. Now I've just chosen this guy. Seems to have crashed on me a little bit, that's a bit annoying. Already in the standard T-pose, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look for a starting animation. I'm just going to look for an idle animation. So sometimes it's worth having a little play about, having a look, see what it looks like. Okay, I just paused OBS and refreshed my page. So there we go, we can see this little, very subtle idle animation. You can have a play about, click on some of the other animations and just wait until you're kind of happy with one. You know, it's entirely up to you. It doesn't really matter at this point. So what I'm going to show you is not the most efficient way of handling animations, but it is a quick way of bringing something into whether you want to put an animated character into your AR project or a VR project or just a normal game. So if I just press download, it's going to say FBX with skin, 30 frames a second. Yep, I'm happy with all of this stuff. I'm just going to press download. So this is going to download the entire mesh with the animation. And this is the bit where it's not going to be that efficient. Let's say I now want him to walk. Again, just like before, I can go through them and choose into ones I like. Now he's coming towards the camera. That's not ideal in games. Good for animation, not for games. So if I just press the tick the box in place, there we go, I'm quite happy with that one. So I'm going to download this one as well. So again, this is now a totally separate model with a separate animation, excuse me, with a totally separate animation. So this is why it's not efficient, because we're going to be taking up a lot of disk space that we might not want. And I can play about with others, by the way. I could look for other things, and again I can tick the in place button. What else do I want? Let's say I want a jump one. So I'm going to look for different kinds of jump. I believe all these animations come from proper motion capture. So if you get to a point where you want to do your own kind of animations, you can. As in, if you want to do your own motion tracking, for example, there's organisations like Rococo. I can't afford a Rococo suit, but if you're listening, you want to sponsor this channel, please do feel free to send me one to borrow for a while. Okay, so basically download the ones you want. It doesn't matter how many you get for now. I'm going to close that down. I'm using Pixabay for some textures, although I do recommend get your own cameras out and go and take your own photos to use as textures. So I'm into Unity. I've got a new project, same as always, a 3D core one. I'm just going to create a plane that's going to act as my ground. I'm going to make sure this is in the 0, 0 coordinates. I'm now going to just put this texture on. Now that's quite big. I'm going to actually click on this and change the tiling and say, give me 5 by 5. I know we can see the tiled edges. We could fix that in Photoshop if we wanted to. So now I'm going to go into my folder. I've already downloaded some of these models. So I've got this is my idle animation. I've got a jump animation and a walk animation. I'm going to drag the breathing guy on. Okay, he's not got his textures with him. So what I'm going to do is click on the breathing. I'm going to come down here. There's the model. I don't think I change anything there. I'm going to go with an old style, by the way. Animation type. I'm going to choose legacy because I know it works. If I come down here, I'm just going to press apply. And we should be able to see him, but he doesn't seem to be. Okay, well, oh, I know why. Go on to animation. There we go, we can see subtle movement, so we know the file's imported properly. That's the important bit. If you'd made your own in Blender and it didn't play there, it means you've done something that it's not happy with. Okay, so I've got the animation. I think that'll do for now. Now this is the bit, it says MIxamo.com. All of our animations are literally named MIxamo, and that's the data about it's actually telling it what to do. And we don't want it to be called MIxamo.com. It's going to make our code very difficult to work with. So what I'm going to do is call this idle. Oh, I don't want it in capitals. I mean, you can, it doesn't make any difference whatsoever, it's just my standard. Now I've done that, I'm going to make sure that I press apply. If I don't press apply, it doesn't make the name change. So now, when I click down here, I can see the animation's called idle. I'm going to do the same again for jump. I'm going to go jump, I'm on the rig, again, I want legacy, apply, animation, change that to, what's this? This is like my jump. Again, apply. We should be able to see there we go, he's jumping on the spot, that's fine. He's thrown me up an error message, I'm not going to worry about that right now. I'll worry about that if it becomes an actual problem. And finally I'm going to go on to walking. Yes, I do want to save that change. Did it actually save it? Yep, it's called jump, I forgot to press apply and save. Okay, so walking, again, rig, legacy, animation, and this one is our walk cycle. And again, did I forget to press apply on that last thing? Okay. No, it's not changed it. Let's try again. Okay, let me just open these up. Yep, it says walk. It says jump. There we go. That's all I need. So we're not going to worry about these two now. We're not actually going to use them on screen. We're not going to use the breathing, but we're going to combine the animations. Okay, there's one more bit I want to do. Materials. I'm not sure which one works. I just know if I click enough of these buttons, it does. So I'm going to click on materials, import. I'll go standard legacy again. I'm going to say use embedded. Yep, that should be fine. Extract. I think no, I didn't do that yesterday. Let me just try one more time. Let's see what happens. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we'll just say fix now. So now we've got our person that's now correctly textured and materialed, etc., etc. Okay, so we've got our character. Now, if we were to press play, I'm not sure if he's going to play or not. Let's have a look. There we go. We can see the idle animation is playing. Before I go any further, I am going to move that camera in a little bit, just because it's going to bug me being so far away. So if I drag the camera, let's turn our guy around a little bit, so he's facing the camera. There we go. And now when I press play, we can see that he should be animated now. Now what we want to be able to do obviously is use the other animations, our idle to walking to jumping. So if I click on animations here, there's our idle. I want to add the others, so I'm going to press plus and plus. I've now got 3 animations to go at. And if I click onto jump, expand it with this little tick button, find the jump animation, drag it on, can close that down, open up walking, and drag the walk across. Okay, so now they are named. So what we can now do is write a script that's going to play these different animations. So I shall come back into my assets folder. I've already created a quick script called simplemove.cs. If I open this up in Visual Studio, it's currently empty. That's not a problem. So now we're going to start putting some code in. The first thing we need to do is create a variable called animation anim. So that's going to create as a link from our code back to this animation of our guy. Obviously, I should really rename him as well, because you're calling him, there we go, player. Oops, that'll do nicely. So now I've got player. I'm going to want to go again, jump back in the code. So this is going to be a link to the animation just here. But to link and get that, I'm just going to grab a bit more code. So these 2 lines, animation equals get component animation. So this is now pulling all that from the inspector. And I'm saying play the idle animation. So if it wasn't playing the idle animation, let's say you dragged jump on there. First we said jump, idle, walk. It'll play whatever is in element 0 first. So this way, if idle wasn't there, it will play idle as soon as the program loads up. I'm now going to come into update. For this, yeah, I'm just wondering how much to show you in one go at the moment. I'll just cancel the line out for the minute. I'm just going to remove this one for the moment. So I've got get key, up arrow, play, and again, I don't have MIxamo.com, I've got walk. So if I was just to save this file right now, what I'm hoping to is when I press the up arrow, it'll start playing the walk animation. So let's just come back to Unity. On player, I can get rid of that. Got far too many things open. I can drag this code onto player, press play, and hopefully when I press the up arrow we should start to go, we should see the walk animation. There we go, walk animation. Now if I let go of up, it's just going to keep on. Oh, actually that's not too bad. That's because I've not set it to loop. Normally when I do these animations, I actually set, where is it? Normally I would set the animation to loop, sorry, not that one, to loop, so it would go on forever and ever, but actually that might be useful now. Now I'll leave that there for now so we can see what's happening in the rest of the code. So again, if I was to, yes, I want to save that. So now when I press forward, there we go, he's now looping. He's not looping forever. Oh well, doesn't matter, it's kind of working. You can see where it's going with it. It's probably because I need to drag it back over the other thing. So I've got the player. Now what I want to do is, what I normally do is if I had released the key, so this is when you're pressing and holding the key. In fact, if you hold your mouse over, it does tell you while the user's holding the key down, do this. But what if you've let go of the key? I'm saying if get key up, I want to go back to playing the idle animation. That's because normally the walk would be in a forever loop. So that's how we can stop the animation. Well, not stop it, but go back to the idle one. Now what if I want to press space? If I press space bar to jump. Okay, so I'm going to jump our little animation. Did I press save? I did not press save. Okay, so now hopefully when I press play, we should have got our walking. There we go, walking. When I let go of walking, it goes back to idle. That's working quite nicely. Press space. There we go, we've got our nice little jump. But he is going back to the first position of whatever the jump was. So what we really need to do is now do some other code that checks to see where we're up to and go back to whatever our default animation is. So if I just go, if animation is not playing, so there's another function built into Unity. If anim is playing equals false, 'cause this is a Boolean variable, then just play the idle. So while this is playing the whole jump, it'll get to the last frame, then it tells it's no longer updating. So again, I can go back. Press play. And now if I'm going forward, stop, jump. And there we go, it's going back to that. It's not particularly as smooth as we'd like it, but it's okay for the time we've spent on it. Okay, so we've now got our three animations. If I want to make him walk around, that's what I can do now. I'm going to bring in a new variable for our direction. So I've just got some code I don't want to put in. So if I just bring a variable, so this is bad again, this is a local variable, which means I'm declaring it over and over each time this frame runs. And this is going to handle which way we're facing. So it's it's an X, Y, Z for the direction you're facing in. I'm also just going to use, again, this is kind of bad, I should change this. I've got this float velocity, I'm prefixing it with F for float. Velocity is set to 1.2. I played about this number a little bit. Really, this should be a global variable that we could change depending on whether you're running or not, but again, that's something for you to maybe play about with. I've already got this line in place, so our direction, the direction we're travelling, is the way it's facing forwards. So hopefully, if we were to say, click on our player movement, the blue arrow should be the forward facing of the model. Now if you'd made it yourself in Blender and you'd model it in the wrong direction, it might go sideways instead. So I'm transforming the forward multiplied by our velocity times our delta time, so that's how much time's passed between the last frame that ran. So if you're on a slow computer or a fast computer, it'll still be the same speed. Okay, so that should move us, well, almost move us forward. I need one more line of code to make it actually go forward, which is now we need to transform it into the real world. Okay, so this will now transform our direction into our world space. So again, hopefully this should now make our character move. So there we go, got a bit of forward movement. And now there's still a few glitches in there. Last couple of bits of code for now is going to be our turning. So I'm just going to grab two lines of code that I've previously written. I'm going to come across here. So I've got my up, space, and I'll just put my turn code there. It doesn't matter where it goes. I'm just saying if it's left arrow or right arrow, I'm rotating around the Y axis, so the up and down axis. And again, you might want to change these numbers to turn faster or slower. So hopefully we've now got a character that will move around a little bit. Again, this is still not going to be super smooth animation, there's still going to be some issues, but it all takes time and extra code and extra logic. but I've now got a character that will walk around the screen. Still looks like he's slipping a little bit, so I might change that 1.2. Now at the moment I can't hold forward and run as well. So what I would suggest, if you want to stop this video now, go and play with this, get your own animations, do your own code. If you want to stick around a little bit longer, I'm going to do some more code to maybe make it a little bit more stable, which is involving the jumping. Again, if you found this video useful, please do like, please subscribe, positive comment below, all the usual things. Okay, so I'm now going to edit this code a little bit more. I want to make him jump, because at the moment, if in the code I'll just put a collision box on him. So I'm just going to close that animation down, we don't need it anymore. I'm going to add a box collider. So let's look at our box collider. If I go to edit the box collider, because right now he's not solid, it would fall through the floor if I turn some physics on. We can see this is down below his feet, so I'm going to bring this up to about his shoulders, not bother about a head test, bring that to about his feet. Oops. Yeah, bring that to about there. Come to the top view. I'm going to edit this down a little bit. We do have to be careful now because he could fall over, but we can fix that if we need to. So there we go, that's his collision box, that's his hit detection. So if you were to try and shoot him, that's where it would create a hit. Now if I was to press play on this with the box collider in view, oops, right, I'm just going to turn that off so I can see it properly. Free aspect, no, where's it gone? I don't want it to go big when I'm pressing play. There we go, I'm just going to take that to play focused, so it should not change when I press play. So we can see the boxes moving with him, but if I press jump, the box is exactly where it is. So if you were trying to jump over an object, that box is still going to collide. So what I'm going to do is actually go into more like Super Mario style jumping. So I'm going to go into the code. We're going to add a few extra variables. This is my standard jump code I've been using for quite some time. I've got a Boolean variable, so true or false. Are you on the ground? So you can only jump if you're on the ground, so no double jumping here. This is my jump power, so how high do you want to go? The smaller the number, the less impact. The bigger the number, the higher you're going to jump. Are you currently jumping? And then I'm also having a rigid body. That's our physics thing. So yep, I'll keep on going for the moment. I do need to access the physics thing. So here, again, this is just reaching back to Unity. So when I come back, when you run the code, it makes the code talk to whatever's here in the inspector. So now I'm going to do the spacebar to jump. Actually, I'm going to do a couple of extra bits now. I'm just saying, is this working? Yeah, this is fine. This is fine. I'm doubling up code, you see, so I've already written some. So I'm having another bit now. I'm saying if you press space and you are on the ground, so really this is going to ignore this one. So I could probably get rid of this now. I'll be bad and I'll just comment it out. I'm saying if you are on the ground and you press the space bar, we're still going to try and move forwards, even though we've already moved forwards up here. And we're going to play the jump, and we're also going to add a force. This is like the physics engine giving you a boost up into the air, which is the transform up times your jump power, which obviously we did above, force.impulse, so it's a one single kind of blast. But what I'll also need now is to know if you're on the ground or not. So I need two more functions, which is the on collision enter, and we also need on collision exit. And then I'll have to go back and make a few changes in Unity, but I'll do that in a moment. So we've got, this is if we are on the ground, then on ground equals true. If we're not on the ground, it's going to be fairly obvious, we're false. So if we have left, we are off the ground. So this is going to keep care of whether we are on. This is going to set basically this variable just here, which triggers this one just here. So it's all kind of connected. Okay, so our next change, back into Unity. It's going a bit slow. Okay, so back into Unity, I need to do one thing now. I need to make sure this is tagged with ground. So I've just gone into add tag. Ground, is that what I called it? Yep, that's fine. I need to click back on the ground again and make sure I have in fact added the ground. So it's now tagged, but I don't trust this mesh collider. Planes are only 2D objects. I don't trust it. So I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to add a box collider. I'm going to just edit the collider itself. And I'm just going to, which way is it going to go? There we go. I'm just giving it a little bit of depth. that should make it a little bit more robust for actually detecting. It's because when I come back onto our player, we're going to add a rigid body. So if we didn't have this ground, let's just say I turn this box collider off and I press play, because I've now put a rigid body on our player, it's probably going to fall through. There we go, it's fallen through the ground. Bring the plane back, turn the box collider back on. He should stay where he is now. There we go. And when I press the space bar, okay, he's got a massive jump. But you know, you can play about with the numbers a little bit. Okay, I'm going to probably leave it there for now, because I think your next step is to experiment, play with your animations, get your own movements going, maybe make him collide with different things and have a play with it. That's the important bit. I'll do another part of this video in the near future where I'll show you how we can go from Blender to Mixamo and back to Blender and then back into Unity. So rather than having to import all of our animations separately, we just simply bring in one model from Blender that has all these different animations built in. But that'll be in the near future. Again, if you've got any use out of this video, please do like, please do subscribe, positive comment below, and of course maybe share it with friends. Okay, and I shall see you in the next one.